Memorial Day weekend is upon us. Looks nice weather-wise, maybe a chance of a storm on Memorial Day. Joining us this morning is Vietnam vet John Hall. And John, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Well, thanks for being with us this morning. You were in the Navy.
Yes.
And since when did you come to Sylacauga? How many years ago now?
About 13 years ago.
Okay. And once your feet hit the ground here, you've really been involved in a lot of different organizations, and the Vietnam Veterans Group is a part of that.
Yes. I got involved basically, and everyone knows the story, walking down Broadway. I ran into a Navy veteran, and he's noted for his short-term conversations. And Mr. Joe Duck and I had a conversation, and he found out I found out he was in the Naval Air Corps, and I was in the Naval Submarine Rescue Corps. So he went up and I went down. And
he was a special guy, wasn't he?
Oh, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's the reason I live here, and everybody in Sylacauga is sorry about that, but here I am. I'm staying, so that's it. But yeah, I get involved with the Veterans Group on a whim. Actually, I went to one of the Tuesday morning breakfasts they're holding up there, and I ran to a bunch of guys that are goofy like me, and we all hit it off, and there's a camaraderie and a connection there. So I've been involved ever since. So I'm involved in the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 945, and also the American Legion Post 45. And then someone else got me involved in the Disabled American Veterans Chapter 13 down in Alexander City. So I'm involved with the veterans a little bit, yeah.
Well, Memorial Day is upon us, and some special happenings with you guys this weekend too.
Well, Memorial Day is something it's sad but happy and celebration. So it's an opportunity for everyone to come together and honor those that have gone on before us, be they civilians or military or whatever else. It's a time to take back and say, hey, thank you, I remember you, and show them some love, and that's what it is. So that's what we're going to do. There's a ceremony that the American Legion does, and at 7 o'clock Monday morning, and we don't care if it rains, we'll get wet, who cares? This is where we take the flag at the American Legion with the ceremony and lower it to half staff in respect for those that have gone on before us. From there, we will go down to the Chamber of Commerce building, where the War Memorial is on the corner of Norton and Fort Williams, another ceremony to honor those that have gone before us and those that have given the ultimate sacrifice to our country. And then after that, we'll go up for fellowship with donuts, and want to thank Curtis & Son, because Curtis & Son is supplying the donuts. And but they've been great to us, and I guess I'm bragging about Curtis & Son, but it's the community that comes together that helps us out and lets us help other people. So that's what we're most appreciative of.
Who is the oldest veteran in our area,
It's a toss-up. I believe Frank Thacker is, he's in his 90s. We've got a couple of juvenile delinquents, R.C. Wakefield and Howard Ellington. They're both 91. And Howard comes to breakfast, and he comes to the meetings, and he's quite a character. But R.C. is in a recovering home in Birmingham, but we have a number of World War II vets, and they're all trouble. They all get me in trouble, and I don't know why, because I'm just sitting there. But they're just great guys. We've got Korean War veterans, Vietnam veterans, the Iraqi, Guatemala, everybody. We're up, this is a veteran period. So it's a great organization.
John Hall, our guest this morning. John, a veteran, he's a Navyman and served in Vietnam. You talked about, I don't know, it's a couple of weeks ago, about Flag Day. Talk about that a little bit.
One of the things that flags wear out, and their utility or utilization comes to a point where they're no longer viable to be flown or presented. There is, through the American Legion, we are doing a thing on Flag Day, the 14th of June, at the American Legion, where we will properly retire flags. And
what do you mean properly?
There's a ceremony that goes, we take a symbolic flag to represent all the flags that are no longer useful. And we take this flag and raise it to the top of the flagpole. And then we lower it for the last time. At which time the flag is presented to 3 different stations for inspection to prove that it is no longer useful or capable of being what it is. So with respect to the flag is then rapid oxidation. And I hate to say burnt, because that's what they are. They're burnt to ashes and ashes to ashes. And the ceremony involves all the flags that are being brought up to the American Legion will be properly retired.
You know, John, this our community is patriotic. Alabama's a patriotic state.
Yes, it is, right.
But we got our flags up, and we don't even notice a lot of times they're tattered and soiled and that kind of thing.
Well, that's interesting that you should bring it up, because it's noted that over at Pinecrest, the flag was taken down out of respect because it was so tattered that it was not capable of being used. But in the process, the lanyard got broken, and so we're waiting for that to get restrung and another flag to go up. But a lot of times, I notice a lot of my brothers will go, and they see a flag, they'll either knock on the door or take it and bring it up to us, and we'll preserve it or store it for this ceremony that we have. And one of the things we're doing is there's a porch outside of the American Legion building. There are tables out there, and if you all have a flag that you want to have retired properly, rather than just thrown in a trash can, bring it up to the American Legion Hall, and we will take care of it with respect and all the respect that it's due.
What are your thoughts on, rights being protected of people who want to burn the American flag or deface the American flag?
Defacing is an absolute forget it, no way, because then they're going to have a problem with me. Burning a flag, and then this is where if the flag is to be properly retired, it is in fact burnt. But to burn it in protest is completely opposite of what we're doing. Those pieces of cloth represent a whole bunch of people. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people who have gone before us. It is our symbol for the United States of America, United States of America. Deface that, you're actually showing disrespect to the country that I love.
Would you do it all over again?
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Let me think about that for a minute. Yes, I would. As a matter of fact, with what's going on right now, we joke about it. We're all, advanced in age, and we no longer have hair color because it's either gone or gray. But yeah, we fought for the country. We gave our due, and yeah, I'm pretty much sure that everybody would do it again. This is our country. God bless America, and here we are.
The flag, John, is a symbol of freedom, a symbol of America, but it's so much more.
It's only at the tip of the iceberg. The flag is something we look up to. And everybody, there's a thing on one of the social medias that I think it touches my heart. A flag flying outside of a school, or a store rather. And a little girl, probably about 5, 6, 7 years old, sitting there with her hand over her chest, right? And this is what it's all about. This is our flag, this is our country. We show respect to it, we honor it, and it's been through a lot. The national anthem is something the same way. Stand up or get stood up. Take this one that I'm looking at. You have the right to protest, of course, but not against my flag, thank you.
The National Moment of Remembrance encourages Americans to pause wherever they are at 3 o'clock on Memorial Day for a moment of silence to remember and honor those who have died in service to this nation. And, there's been a lot of men and women who've given the ultimate sacrifice.
There are. And one of the nice things about this is that people are paying attention to veterans. For the longest time, I never even wore a cap that said I was a veteran. And I'm extremely proud of it. The vehicles that I drive, including the motorhome, have Vietnam veteran tags on them. And the guys up there, Fellowship to Brotherhood, you've seen it. It's just guys who have a common denominator, and that's loving the country to the extreme. And yeah, I'm proud to be a veteran. I'm proud to be an American. Now I'm proud to be an Alabamian. So,
John Hall, our guest this morning. John, again, if you would capsule the event's going to be taking place on Memorial Day, sir.
Okay, Memorial Day, Monday morning, 7 o'clock at the American Legion Hall, which is right behind Wells Fargo Bank, which is parallel to Fort Williams. At 7 o'clock in the morning, there will be a ceremony where we will properly lower the flag to half staff in commemoration of the people and veterans and ladies and gentlemen that have gone on before us. We will do that ceremony, and then at 7:30, we'll be down at the Chamber of Commerce War Memorials, which are on the corner of Norton and Fort Williams, for another ceremony, again memorializing those who have gone before us. And then it's time for us to come back and fellowship, and we'll have coffee and donuts up at the Legion Hall, and it's a good feeling to sit there and say, thank you for what you've done.
Yeah. John, I say we, the people in the state of Alabama, including locally, we've lost a lot of veterans in recent years, of people that just really good men and good women.
Every one of them's a good man and a good woman. And one of the things that's been brought to the attention of the public now is that there's roughly 59,000 people who gave their ultimate sacrifice in Vietnam alone. But now, I will argue this, and people get into the politics of it all, whereas the people were contaminated by Agent Orange, and they come home to die, actually, because the 59,000 doesn't even scratch the surface, because there's a lot of guys that are coming home with illnesses, Agent Orange, PTSD. They used to call it shell shock or battle fatigue or something like that. But the embedded pain and suffering is still here. It's nice that the public's paying attention and saying, hey, thank you. But there's an awful lot more involved than just saying, okay, I'm a veteran. Now, I am a non-combat veteran because I was in submarine rescue. But there are guys out there who have the nightmares that come with it, because they've gone through absolute horror. Yeah. But yeah, so if you see a vet, ladies and gentlemen, please, just tell them thank you. I mean, you don't have to overdo it or anything else, but just, a little appreciation. We appreciate it, and we thank you for doing that.
We appreciate your service and all of the veteran services and their families that are watching this morning. John Hall, Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 945 in Sylacauga. John, thank you for your service to our country, and thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
More Daybreak coming up as we continue on this Thursday morning.